Now, my next guests are just some of the celebrities embarking on a spiritual journey across Wales, all while asking what faith means to them as the brand new series of Pilgrimage continues.
Ooh, that's fresh.
You're a fan of the English poet and Jesuit priest Gerard Manley Hopkins?
Of course.
I love this book. Do you know that he wrote a poem about the miracle that occurred here?
Really? Pray share.
To this holy well shall pilgrimages be, but not from purple Wales only, or Elmy England, but from beyond seas.
Michaela Strachan and Tom Rosenthal join us now. Good morning to you both.
Hello.
It's wonderful to have you here. Tom, what an incredibly challenging but deeply enlightening experience this has been for all of you.
It was amazing. That clip, they gave me that poem to read. It makes me look like I've just got poems just coming out of my... I'm not that guy.
You were able to memorise
I memorised 3 lines. I'm a
so...
professional actor. I should be able to do that.
Well,
yeah.
It's better than I could have done, so I was very impressed. But a very, very interesting kind of experiment for all of you. We'll come to you just in a second, Michaela. But Tom, I know you didn't grow up in a religious household. You were left to sort of find what worked for you.
Yes.
And so you were always interested in religion, though. There was always something there that you wanted to discover.
Yeah, I was the annoying kid in RS who was always asking questions that the teacher couldn't really answer, to be honest. And,
well, you got the top mark.
Thank you for mentioning that.
Yes. I thought I'd bring it up.
I have brought it up a few times, yeah.
Top mark in the country,
The top mark in the country for Religious Studies A level, yes.
OK, so there's an understanding there, naturally.
I'm a boffin. I'm an annoying geek. But, yeah, I just find it so interesting, these huge systems that claim to have the answers to what we're doing here. So I just think it's a question that I'm always going to be asking, really. Do you have the answer? Do you know?
I sadly don't. I was hoping you'll tell me by the end of this series. Michaela, it was interesting to listen to your take on things to begin with as well. In sunny Africa, South Africa this morning, you look beautiful. You explained, Michaela, that your faith was really a faith that lies in nature, in the outdoors. That's what you look up to. And that came across so passionately, actually, because you're in the outdoors there in your beautiful part of the country and you could feel really at peace at that time.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I was walking within my faith because my faith is the natural world. So we were in North Wales for this pilgrimage and it was just so glorious, stunning, stunning scenery. I mean, I do think that the second episode has the best scenery in it. We went to Aber Falls, which is absolutely glorious waterfall, and we climbed Snowdon as well. So, you know, really beautiful parts of the Welsh coastline, and we did the coastal path too. And so, you know, what a joy for me. That is my faith. That is my church. I was walking in my church as we went along. But I have to say, Tom was so good in this pilgrimage because he was like Pi in the life of Pi and just soaked up everything. He's got such a curious mind. And as he's saying there on the sofa, you know, he's curious. He wants to learn. He wants to get the answers. And so he was just brilliant on the pilgrimage at just being inquisitive and just asking loads of questions and soaking it all up.
Well, I think that's an interesting point because it did seem like there was a real unity amongst the group. And I loved the camaraderie that there was at the end of the day when you'd be eating together and you'd sort of reflect on what you'd been through that day. And I think that creates a safe environment to really show your emotions. And that came across really quite intensely, Michaela. And I know you certainly felt that.
Yeah, I think all of us had an emotional point during the pilgrimage. For me, it was particularly emotional because my best friend had died a little bit before, and it was her funeral the week before we went on pilgrimage. So I had very raw grief that I was carrying with me, which made it quite a difficult journey for me, quite a tough pilgrimage. But what a gift to be able to go on a pilgrimage, to walk out your sadness, to meet people that spiritually connected. You might not agree with their faith, but they're kind, gentle people with comforting words. So it was very moving at times. I know the second episode that goes out on the BBC on next Friday, they're all on iPlayer now, but there's quite an emotional bit with Spencer when he's talking about his brother that died coming down Everest a long time ago, but he was the youngest Brit to reach the summit of Everest and died on the way down. So that's very emotional. I know that at the end of the third episode, I get very emotional. So it definitely brings emotions out. But we talk about important things. We try and declutter. We leave the unimportant things behind on a pilgrimage, and you talk about things that should be important in your life.
Yeah, and there were so many different faiths and different religious views amongst the group, but weirdly there was a common ground all of the time, wasn't there, Tom?
Yeah, well, I think the common ground was sort of vulnerability, to be honest. The power of this pilgrimage, it's not just the editing, like we genuinely did get a lot out of it, I think, as people, and we all were dealing with our own individual things. And I didn't quite realise that, A, a television show could have that impact, but B, that's what pilgrimages were for. That you were supposed to go and, as Michaela says, like, leave everything else behind and just ruminate on things you were carrying that maybe didn't serve you anymore. And yes, the scenery of North Wales and the random churches that we went to really helped to unlock those things in all of us. And I'm incredibly proud to be and privileged to be a part of this show and to do it with the people that I did with it.
Yeah, it was a great team. And did you feel like you came away with some answers, Tom? Did you feel like you were in a different place at the end of the pilgrimage?
Yeah, I definitely understand what pilgrimages are for now. And I recommend them. If anyone's struggling for something, just look up a few pilgrimages and go on one. It was very, very powerful. So I don't think I know any more about what God is, but I think I experienced God a few times in the scenery and in the other people that I did this trip with. So yes, I'm so thrilled to have taken part, and that we have this amazing memento that's been so beautifully edited and is now on the iPlayer, so my grandma can watch it. Right?
I think, Michaela, as well, it is just having still moments. It's having moments to allow yourself to sit and look at the scenery, take things in, not have the phone alongside you, look up to the sky, which there was a lot of that in the first episode, where there were just still moments. And I think from that you can gain a lot.
But I think we just so often need to declutter. We're bombarded with so much these days. There's so much overstimulation with information and audible and visual, that sometimes just take yourself away from that and just walk in nature, talk about things that are important. I mean, I think everyone should, at some time of their life, go on some sort of pilgrimage. As Tom was saying, we all got so much out of it. And I think anybody that takes the time out to go on a pilgrimage somewhere beautiful, maybe with people that they don't know. I mean, we didn't know each other at all of us on the pilgrimage, and we got to know each other. We talked about things that you might not talk with your normal circle of friends. So I would really recommend it. As I say, at some point, everyone should go on a pilgrimage.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful thing to watch. I found it really calming just watching you all doing it, never mind even being part of it. And it was shot beautifully, beautiful scenery. It's a really lovely series. Pilgrimage continues on Friday at 9 p.m. on BBC Two. Can I just quickly remind you, away from pilgrimage, what you did the last time you were on the show?
Oh, if you must.
Yeah. I just thought, why not? There you are, modelling
the question's got to be why, isn't it?
Floral chants. Tom, I just thought I'd keep it real and bring it back to earth for you there, and just a nice little happy memory for us all.
There's no need.
There you go. That one's for you, Michaela. Thank you very much, Michaela.
Thank you, yeah.
Great to see you, Tom. Fully clothed.